Welcome to the Ace Podcast, where we talk all things art, culture, and entertainment, but more specifically pop culture entertainment. I'm your host, Will the Greatest, and with me, I have my regular co-host, Aaron. What's good, bro?
What's good, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing solid, aside from the fact that I damn near burnt some fucking turkey necks on my stovetop. And I smelled the smoke, and I'm pissed now because a couple of them
I'm the
didn't get
only man
burnt.
I know making turkey necks at 1 a.m.
I'm meal prepping turkey neck. They were cooking before we got on, and I figured I would just like take a beat to go get them off, but I wasn't expecting the water I put in there to cook down so quick, like quicker than it was, because it's supposed to cook for like 2 hours, and it hadn't
Oh
been
wow!
2 hours, so it burnt through all the water, I think, or cooked through all the water.
Oh shit!
So
All
I
the
guess
damn
it's
water.
yeah, I guess I need to add more water,
Them necks was
or more.
thirsty.
But how are you doing, man? I know you got.
I got by the vid. Round 3. We got in 2020 of Thanksgiving. Got in 2021 of Christmas. Now I got 2023 right before Christmas.
Damn, bro.
I know. I don't even know what happened this time. I don't know what happened any of the times, to be honest with you.
Where you
But
be at? So I know not to go there. Fuck. I know
will
I
say,
got when I got it from Blurred for sure. I know exactly who I got it from. Actually, it's a mutual friend of ours. But
oh damn, I'm surprised I didn't get it that time then. But
I am too, because you were right there with me.
damn.
It was after we saw Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh damn, maybe I was still immune. Maybe I got like that 6 month warranty of COVID. Got the 6 months on me, but I'm doing a lot better than I was a few days ago. Because it's funny, the last time, as of right now, we recorded an episode, and I was feeling sick, and I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was just a cold. And I'm like, damn, I just got a cold a month and a half ago. And I woke up the next day feeling awful. The worst, atrocious. Bro, I woke up with glassy eyes, the worst headache I've ever had in my life. Like, it took me like an hour to muster up the energy to go to the grocery store, to the convenience store, and I was just a zombie, bro. I was a zombie in that convenience store getting my my Theraflu and my COVID test. I'm like, no, this don't feel like no normal cold. But I was just like, is this what COVID feel like? Shit, I don't remember this what COVID feel like, but I know that like I was supposed to go out that night to a friend's birthday, but I was like, I'm definitely not sociable. I can't be around people right now. So I took the 2 tests, and sure enough, your boy was positive. But I'm doing a lot better now. I'm doing good. It's been a crazy little isolation period. Just a lot of TV, a lot of movies, a couple of TV shows, movies we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm alive. We're alive and we're thriving. I'll take this picture. I don't know if I showed Will.
Damn.
It's maybe 2 positive COVID tests. But yeah, I'm going to test as of right now. I'm going to test again tomorrow. That'll be the end of my 5th day. And hopefully I'm negative. So I return to life.
Yeah.
That's
back to reality. Yeah, man, I'm obviously just wishing you a speedy recovery. I remember when you texted me, I'm like, fuck. So I was trying to check on you because I know that you just been trying to, just rest and recover and everything. I hope everything's good with you, and hopefully it's negative sooner rather than later, man. Because I do not miss that shit. I never want that shit again. That shit was ass.
I will say it gets least bad. It gets less bad each time I get it. The first time I thought I was dead, thought I was gonna die. Like at the end of the week was like my final days. But I'm good now. I'm chilling now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, aside from, not too much has been going on, I think, with either of us personally. Nothing that anyone who listened to this needs to know. So I think with that, we can get into, I think, 2 separate experiences with shows that we've watched recently before we talk about a common enemy. So I recently watched the Netflix adaptation of Yu Yu Hakusho today, literally.
I'll start to finish
I remember seeing.
To finish today.
Yeah, it's only 5 episodes. It's like 4.5 hours.
Okay, not bad.
It's weird. I'm of 2 minds about it. It's really conflicting because Yu Yu Hakusho is probably my favorite anime of all time. Like if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. Just because it is a slight slow burn to start, but the characters I think are really engaging. And then like once the story, like once the groundwork is laid and the main characters are working together, and it goes. There is not really any filler. Um, it has some of my favorite like fights and moments in anime. Like the Dragon of the Darkness Flame episode is still one of like my favorite animated sequences. Like as far as like what is done with the medium, as well as just the title uh Knife Edge Death Match, which is exactly verbatim what you think it is, and it's super fucking dope. It is two niggas with their heels on knife blade edges, swinging,
Oh,
just make, just all hands, and you lose if you either die or you get knocked out the circle,
oh my god.
and you do that till somebody wins,
This me
and that's not even the final fight. That's just one of the ones in the middle of the dark tournament. One of the greatest tournament arcs in any anime.
damn. They just full blown making Miss
So
Maximus, huh?
yeah, it's some real shit. So
Wow.
when I heard they were doing a live action version, I'm like, okay, that could work. But then the trailer came out, and everyone had the same question. So a lot of things in here from later seasons. So it's like the show itself has like it has four like major arcs, but the first one has like three mini arcs in it,
Okay.
where there's like Spirit Detective, um, there's Spirit Detective arc, the Genkai tournament, Spirit Detective Genkai tournament, and Rescue Kina, and it's like the five sovereign or something like that. So it's like four mini arcs in the first real arc, and then all of that builds up to Rescue Kina is the last one. That builds up to Dark Tournament. Then they go straight into Sensui, and then it goes into Three Kings. So it's like four mini. So it's really like eight, but four of them are in like that first real kind of beginning of it. Um. So what's weird is there's this one of the major villains, and the main one of Dark Tournament is younger Tagoro, who's this bad motherfucker who's like 6 feet tall, wears shades and a jacket. Nigga is scary as hell. His flicks can like take out your rib cage from the wind of it.
Well,
He's built different.
man.
So it was so he shows up at the end of like that first arc at the end of like Rescue Yukina, but it's kind of a subterfuge. It's a good watch. Um but he shows up as well as some other characters from like Dark Tournament, and there's some references from Sensui, which is all the way in like the third arc. And this is not only in like the first season of the show. When you find out it's 5 episodes and like 4 hours long. What are you cutting? The show itself is like 117 episodes, so it's like it's pretty breezy when you get into the rhythm of it, but it's by no means short. Like My Hero Academia is about to cross it, but it's still like that's a pretty decent length for like a 90s anime. So for you to try and truncate like I'll say generously like 70 episodes into like 4 hours. There's a shit ton that's on the cutting
Oh
room
my
floor.
god.
So what and I watched 95% of it dubbed and then watched like the last 30 minutes in original Japanese. Um okay, compliments I can give this. Uh the live action fight choreography is good. I think for the most part the special effects are good. The Japanese actors definitely seem engaged. It's shot decently. I'd say it's decently well shot. Um, and some of the changes they make, I think, could have worked. You could have truncated like that first. Spirit Detective arc into a season. You could have. I don't know why they made it 5 episodes. That's really weird to me. That's super fucking weird. Like 50-minute episodes is a really weird like
Right.
choice of structure. But they put some money into some decent special effects. Um,
So let me ask.
so here's what didn't
Okay,
work.
okay. Go
Huh?
into it. Go into it.
So here's what didn't work. I don't know who did the voice direction for the dub, because like Johnny Young Bosch shows up in the cast for the dub. Now here's the thing: the '90s dub, like that original dub with like Justin Cook and Chuck Huber and all them, that's a up there. That's like Cowboy Bebop, original DBZ. That's an iconic dub in my opinion. The actors do a fantastic job. They have some hilarious line deliveries in it. Like I still remember Hiei's where uh, they beat a villain and he's like, "Wait, I can help you guys." And he's short guy with a sword, just goes, "And why the hell do you think we should trust you?" And just the delivery is so like flat but earnest. It's like it's funny as fuck even without context. I'm like, motherfuckers just asking the real question. Like there's an iconic scene in the first season where Yusuke, after coming back to life and getting his powers, he's walking down the street, sees a man with like devil horns coming out of his head. He looks at him and says, he basically says, well, I'm just gonna mind my business. That he looked at him, was like, that guy looks pretty weird. And I better keep that to myself. And just minds his fucking business and goes about his day. It's like, looks like trouble. Better not to get involved. It's like, yeah, you know what?
Right.
Smart. You died once. Not far be it from me to squander the second chance.
I'm not trying to do it again.
Yeah, it's just like it's just let me mind my fucking Japanese ass business. So it's like that's another attribute. It's like I don't know the dub. It has, because I had to look up. I'm like, who is in this? And it was like actors that I recognized from other stuff, from like Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, Johnny Young Bosch has been in fucking everything. But it's like, Bleach, Devil May Cry, Power Rangers, so on and so forth. But it's like they got old boy from Chainsaw Man, one of the actors from Jujutsu Kaisen, uh, one of the girls from like Persona 5. Like these are really talented actors, and the I don't know who was directing them, but it was just kind of, one, it was weirdly kind of flat, but it was even weirder that they didn't get the original actors from the '90s, because they still do the voices, like they still
It wouldn't
can.
fit for these live action performances.
I would say so. I would say it would fit because it's like it's just an adaptation of what they've done before. Like it deviates in terms of like narrative structure, but that's because you're like butcher chopping like 2 seasons of content to make 4.5
Okay, so
hours. But it's like it's not anything that's beyond their, like I met Justin Cook at a con at GalaxyCon last year. Can still do the voice perfectly fine. Like I know it's been almost 20 years. All of them can still do the voices perfectly fine. Their voices haven't withered into tears, because they redubbed, not redubbed, they dubbed like 2 OVAs that were made recently in Japan, with the Japanese one that came out in like 2018. They just dubbed it in English like
oh
last
wow.
year. Still sounds
So let me ask
still
you
the same.
this: do you think that,
Yeah.
obviously, as a fan of the show, like you can recognize the positives, but clearly there's a lot more negatives. At least
The wigs are
wigs are
ass.
ass.
Like Tyler
Ooh,
Perry bad.
Jesus.
Which is weird because the costumes are on point. The costumes are perfect, but the wigs suck. It's a really weird thing.
Like, yeah. We'll worry about the wigs later. We'll get to it. And
Yeah.
sure enough, they did. You think of someone who's never seen the show? Do you feel like it still feels choppy, or do you feel like someone who doesn't have the burden of knowledge could enjoy the show, or is it a bad show with its own merit?
I think I think if you didn't have the burden of knowledge, you could still probably enjoy it based off the fight choreography. It's like it has heart to it, I would say. So to somebody that isn't familiar, it's just, I mean, it's paced fast as fuck. That's a kind of in between critique. It because it's like, but it's only 4.5 hours, so it's a pretty breezy watch. But because it's trying to hit like so many plot points from
The
like
anime.
50, 60 episodes, its pace is like light
Damn.
speed. Like it when it start, like its foot hits the ground, pew, like it immediately just flies into story beats. And it's weird because it's like it's fast, but also long. So it'll be like 50 minutes, and you're like, oh, this is where the episode's gonna stop. No, it keeps going, still fast as fuck, just barreling through narrative. It's odd. It's a really like unique experience. I'd be curious if you ever do give it a watch to watch it and then like casually make your way
Maybe that
through
should be
the
my
original, which
my
I'm pretty
experience.
sure.
Yeah, maybe I should watch the live action one. 'Cause
I'd say
I've
watch
only
the
seen
live
small
action
bits and pieces
first.
of the original show, so maybe I'll watch the live action one and
Yeah,
then go into the anime to see like, okay, what's this proper? Because for me, it won't feel like a truncated,
yeah.
abridged version of the show. The original one, will feel like an extended version of the 5 hour experience that I just had.
Yeah, and then you'll see a lot of the stuff on the cutting room floor. I'll be curious how what you think because you're really big on character, how they handle um like character beats and personalities in the context of the original after watching the live action one. I'll be really curious to see how you respond to it, just because like they, I'd say in terms of at least in my opinion, um Hiei, who's probably my favorite. He's the short demon guy with the three eyes and the sword. He's dressed in all black. I think he gets done the
Mm.
dirtiest. Um, in terms of the adaptation, not really doing as much with them, so it focuses a lot on like Yusuke kind of having an arc, Kuwabara, kind of have an arc, and then they do Karama's whole arc. Karama's dope, boss ass character. You'll love him. He is the hot, silent, nonchalant nigga with the cool weapons and the dope and the crazy backstory. Um, but he's the calm, cool, collected guy. They do his whole like story, like start to finish. That's one of the weird things that they don't really cut. Like they abridge it slightly, but his story from the original, they just do do it damn near
Oh
beat
wow.
for beat, which is weird because it's in the context
Okay.
of like other stuff. So
Interesting. Wait, speaking of
so
anime,
it's
so did you ever finish One Piece?
no, I still need to finish it. That'll probably be next. After okay, I got May, December. I will probably do that so that I can move on to like Blue
Okay.
Eye Samurai and shit. But I need to get through it. It's just like them fucking hour runtimes. I'm halfway through it. I'm on episode 5. That is where I left off. It was like right at 5. I just need to go ahead and just
Okay.
get through it because I liked it. I just
Well, yeah.
stopped.
Also, like it's good, but also Yu Yu Hakusho is shorter, and plus you have an emotional investment in that franchise already.
Yeah. So it's like it's weird because it's like um I wasn't mad at the stuff that they mishandled. I felt weird about it. It's just like it if you watch the show, if you watch the live action one and then watch the original, you'll see why it's particularly confusing because they basically take the big villain of the second arc and wrap all that up without the whole arc. So it's like imagine um actually here is a good example and we'll get more into detail about this later. They took Kang and killed him in a side movie and didn't do the whole story of Kang, but he shows up and he's beaten in the story that would end for somebody else. That what they did with Quantumania is basically what they did with
Oh,
Yu Yu Hakusho. They took a character that's like built up at the end of one arc and is the real main terror for the second arc. Cut out that second arc, but kept like the end fight with
oh,
him, and then just moved it back to the end of the first arc. So it's like okay, well, if you ever want to do Dark Tournament, then it can't be to so okay. Do you mind if I spoil a bit for you,
uh,
or do you
okay,
want?
yeah,
I'll
okay.
leave it out. I'll leave it out. It's just like I'll leave it for you to experience, but it's like you will understand once you kind of see it for yourself. It's like okay, that's a weird thing to do. You cut out an entire story of like dramatic tension and buildup, and then just like MacGyvered it. So it's like if you ever want to tell that story, you have to essentially change what the motivation is for that to be there in the first place. Because the only reason they go through all that bullshit is to get to him and fight
Interesting.
him.
So, do you feel like this is a show that's made for fans of the show? Or do you feel like this is a show made for newer audiences?
This can't be for fans of the show. With like in any like good faith. It can't be. It has to be for a new audience to kind of take, I guess, the essence of Yu Yu Hakusho, which it sort of does.
Well, actually,
It seems like it seems like they crippled themselves. That's what
okay,
makes it
you can
weird.
talk about the thing that the spoiler that frustrated you. I have to run out for 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, because I had an order
Okay.
that's been out there for 20 minutes, and I gotta go pick it up.
Okay, go get it. Yeah, no, it's I guess spoilers for a show that's damn near 30 years old at this point. Um what happens is like with Dark Tournament and everything, Toguro threatens Yusuke and his friends. And so it's like, okay, well, meet me at the Dark Tournament and then defeat me in the tournament. So by removing the tournament and pushing Toguro back kind of lowers the stakes, especially when the whole payoff or the end of Rescue Yukina was the fake out that they thought they beat Toguro. And then he shows up later. And it's like a surprise, like, whoa, we thought he was dead. We thought we beat him. Then it turned out, no, it wasn't that easy. And he's 1,000 times more terrifying than we thought he was. So that's just, yes, it's, it is a fascinating show. It is truly truly a sight to behold. Yeah, so that's I'm trying to think what else didn't work in the show. The pacing was light speed. It has good fights. I would say good costume design. Color grading is a little weak. I'd say it could have been a little brighter. It's a little muddy, um, which is weird because I think I like the daytime shots, but the nighttime shots are kind of meandering. Um,
And we back.
yeah,
2 minutes.
yeah.
Two minutes.
I'm just trying to think if there are any other downsides to this show. It's like, wigs were ass. Oh yeah, one thing that you might notice is like the show looks a little muted in terms of its color grading for the live action one, which is a shame because it's like it has good colors. Oh, there is something I do have beef with. Kuwabara's hair is the wrong color, and so is his sword. And so is his hairstyle. It's the wrong hairstyle. Until I realized what they were doing. From the back, he looks the same as the anime character. From the front, it's so in the anime he has like a pompadour type hair, but in this they made it like a side over. It like swoops around and over and like bunches up in the back. But he's like blonde now instead of like red haired. I don't know why they did that. Yeah, that was weird. The wigs were bad. Yusuke looks pretty good though. His hair is one that I've always been trying to figure out. I'm like, how do you adapt that for real? Because it's like slicked down, but with strands poking out the front. Is how Yusuke looks in like the manga and anime. And so his is just kind of like high, but back, but it is slicked. So when he gets so one of the things is like when Yusuke, sweats or fights, his hair does eventually fall down. It gets out of the slickness. So in the live action version, they do recreate that pretty well. I'm trying to see if I have Yu Yu Hakusho on my shelf. I might have it. That's Battle Athletes. I thought I had it up here, or a version of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so this is here we go. So that's usually kind of what his hair looks like, and then you can see on the front that's what his hair looks like when it's like down. I don't know why I specifically have volume 2,
The
but
man's got great hair.
yeah, and
Man's
you can see
style.
like yeah, so you can see like Yusuke and
I've seen that dude before. Yes, yes. The guy
Kuwabara.
with the hair that goes forward like
Yeah,
that. I feel like that's a hard one to pull out in live action.
he's the one that talks like this, Kazuma Kuwabara. He sounds like fucking Goldar from Power Rangers. That's it's actually
Oh
I think the
shit,
same voice
okay.
actor as Vegeta.
Like that guy.
Yeah, yeah. Here he is. So here's Yusuke.
Mm,
So you see, it's weird how
it
it's like
falls.
slicked in the back, but it like
Yeah.
falls out in the front.
Do cosplayers get it right?
But yeah, cosplayers usually figure out a way to get it right. I don't know how, um, but they be figuring it out. They be doing it. If where there's a a glue gun and a sewing machine, a cosplayer will figure out a way to make that shit work. My dream cosplay one day is to do a Pharaoh attempt
Ooh, okay.
from Yu-Gi-Oh. Just because he's actually canonically brown. I'm like, we ain't got a lot of them, so
How
I'll
would you
take
do
the
that? Would you
Egyptian.
shave for Pharaoh?
Yeah, I'd
How'd you
shave
get
for
your
Pharaoh.
locks to stand up like that?
That'd be the thing is I'd have to build a wig for it. Like I do have ones that stick out in the front that I could make yellow and just like probably
Okay.
make into a braid or some shit, and then just do it yellow. But I'd have to have like an actual proper wig or some shit, and then just have like one
Oh,
blonde streak hanging out. But that's like one goal one that I want to do. But yeah, that's pretty much my major thoughts about Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a fascinating watch. I think it's mostly carried by like having pretty good looking fights that have a good they balance their use of like their VFX and like their wire work well. Like there's one fight that almost runs too long for me in like a shipyard or something like god damn you maybe it's because I was tired when I saw it. So it's maybe felt a little longer than it was. I'm like, damn, you niggas are still fighting. Good, beat
where do you
his
get the
ass
energy?
already. Um, literally, and that's what it took is like a child almost dies and he's like he figures it out. But there's a lot of like they use their environment with the fight, which I like. So it's not only hand-to-hand combat, but there's like jumping off walls and doing flips and tricks. So it is very like stylistic anime where it's like okay you're like using your surroundings and your space. So I don't envy them choreographing these fights because that looked like it was complicated honestly, where I'm just like how did you figure this out with these particular like motions, and then some characters have weapons, so figuring out how to shoot that. So I'm thinking like production wise there's a lot of like proper effort put into it production wise. I give them the credit where credit is due. It's just I'm wondering how you will react to it if you take like a chunk of the day and just blitz through it and see if like did this make sense to you, or are there still like some questions and whatnot before you like
I
try
might
and
do that
watch the
tonight or
originals.
tomorrow. I feel like I'm going to be off tomorrow too. So yeah, I'll definitely let you know. I'm curious. This
Yeah,
conversation's made me more intrigued to get into it.
yeah, because like and one thing I can say and kind of agree because the mistake I made is before I finished the last episode I was listening to a review and they made a good point. So one thing with Tagashi, the author and creator of it, is like he's usually pretty solid about like incorporating some level of humor into his works, like this or Hunter x Hunter. So Yu Yu Hakusho has like funny moments, like the ones I was telling you about. This one is a lot more just dark. There's not a lot of jokes. It's a pretty, despite the circumstance, because I think the jokes work well because like you can tell the difference in tone because it starts a little lighthearted, you know. Like I think the first episode of the anime is literally titled "Surprised to be Dead." Like, which shout outs to Lana Pater when he did Yu Yu Hakusho Bridge. It's like surprised to be dead. Of course, I'm surprised to be dead. Like, I got hit by a fucking car.
Okay.
His death is way more brutal than it is in the anime and manga. I will say that. Like it's when you see it, you're like, fuck. Okay, damn. That was. You put a little budget
Oof.
into that one and just made it a
Okay,
little
I'm curious.
worse.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd be curious as to your thoughts. I don't hate the show, weirdly enough. That's what's weird. Like I have a lot of gripes with it, but I didn't come out hating it. I wouldn't mind seeing more purely off the metric of what the fuck would you do for a second season? It's not that you can't do anything. Like it can end where it ends, I guess. Um, but I'm like, where would you take? Like, there's you can pull stuff from the manga, sure, but I don't know what you
Did
would
they try to
do for
adapt the
a
whole show
second
into 5
season.
episodes?
Not even but they had adapted like half the show
Could
into
they do the other half,
a
or
season,
is it
into into
could they end
into
the
five
show until the
hours.
anime ends?
They so where the live action version ends could be an ending, but it does not end where the anime does in terms of because there's a lot of like I think interesting character moments that happen in the later season. Like Dark Tournament is one of my favorite arcs of all time just because it's really fucking cool and you actually meet like all the contestants
Mm.
and see all of
But
the
they skipped that
fights
in this thing.
and yeah, so they cut all that out and the whole purpose of Dark Tournament is to get to Toguro. um but they just get to Toguro and that's the as far as we know that's the fight and they do is yeah and they go all out with the fight so you can't use them anymore. So you just wiped out like half the story. So you can do the next arc or two if you want to. Um, I just wouldn't have done it in this format. I figured they would have just done an arc per season like that. For like you could do um like I'd say an episode and a half to each of the mini arcs in the first one of Spirit Detective. Like if you did this as like 4 5 episode seasons that are get a full hour, I could see that in theory. It'd be it's again, its pacing would still be fast as fuck, but I could see it. I know the argument would be it's like, oh, how do you do, Dark Tournament on a Netflix budget? And their Gigaboot said it's like, oh, it'd be filmed in a warehouse and just streamed everywhere to get because the actual tournament is like it's a tournament, like any tournament, or it's like it's a coliseum. Where I'm just like, I mean, you could make it, but it's only one environment. So you could just CGI everybody in the crowd and just build up a couple sets and just make it an indoor
With the
tournament.
volume, maybe.
The actual yeah, which yeah, that was my first time like, well, just use the volume, but in Japanese, so I don't know if they have it. But it's like you could easily work around that. It's just like CG the environment, one big blue screen,
Yeah,
and just make the floor. And then just use space to because it's a big open ring. You do it like a wrestling match essentially
I'm
with
sure it
just like
wouldn't be.
CG
That'd be cheaper
spectators.
than building an entire
It's
coliseum
like
and getting that many extras.
yeah, it's like don't pay for all the extras. Like pay for your key players and cast, and even still, you'll have to cut down. Like if you did
Yeah, I
that
was
in
gonna
five
say,
episodes, you have to cut
I
down
was,
like half of that because like actual Dark Tournament is like 40 episodes, and there's like 6 7 teams. They all each fight has its own like plot. Like there are some monks that are possessed, but because a demon like tricked them into trying to save their sensei. There are these other guys they have to get through. One can fly, one of them is Scottish, one of them is a kid with a yo-yo. Like these are actual like fights that when I say there's like little to no filler, like there's reasons for it. You have Yusuke's whole secondary training arc where he almost dies of dehydration in a cave. Like there's a fuck ton of stuff where you just
wow,
have to
kind of reminds me
cut
of
it out.
DBZ, at least the tournament aspect of it. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it. I also
Yeah.
didn't My Hero do a tournament too? Fucking a, they did. That's right.
Yeah, the summer festival. My Hero had some tournament arcs are pretty common. Like Hunter x Hunter has one, this has one. DBZ has Dragon Ball in general is one of the progenitors of it. My Hero have it. Tournament arcs are pretty common for a reason, but it's like you can tell a lot of interesting stories with your character in relation to like the other
Yeah, no,
contestants
it's
who will
also a
also
good
have their
way
own stories.
to have stakes, but also have these characters have experiences and test their characters and have them grow.
Yeah, because it's it shows how much they've grown in the time period between, but it also doubles back and shows like, okay, how did they get to this point where they are now from where they were? If we, you see him at the end of the first arc, and then you skip to Dark Tournament, which I think is like a couple months later. I want to say 3 months later. I could be wrong. Could be shorter. Where it's like, oh, okay, you've had a lot of growth since then. What happened, and how
Hmm.
does that inform like how you fight? What your motivations are and stuff like that. So it's like I think it's good storytelling, and it's also just visually fun. This is fun to watch. Just people swing with different powers and whatnot and different motivations and figuring out how clever characters have to be at times too. Because it's like okay, not every fight is going to be won through brute strength. Sometimes you have to kind of think, and there are things you wouldn't think to think of, and it's like oh shit,
Hmm.
I didn't see
Okay.
that coming. So
Like I said, you
so
piqued my curiosity, and
it's
I'm
yeah, I don't.
watch it.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I'm like morbidly curious. I'm like, well, what would you do next? Are you just gonna jump right into Sensui and that bullshit? No, I like Sensui's arc. It's a very good arc. Um, it's about an evil spirit detective, and then like Three Kings is just like balls to the wall shit. So it's like you'll see when you eventually give it a chance. But yeah, it's I don't know. There's a lot not to like
Okay.
about the show, but I don't dislike it. I found myself when I listen to reviews, I'm like, oh yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that was bad too. There's a lot of bad stuff in the show, but I guess the goodwill of the original is just carrying over to this, where it's like, well,
So like when you
the
really came
fights
out
look
of it, you were
good.
like, all right, that was all right. But then like the more you like think about it and hear, you're like, huh, damn, maybe that was kind of bad.
Yeah, like
Yeah, some
Yeah,
mighty good
like
things.
yeah, I think it is. It's a bad adaptation for sure, but I'm not sure how people would think about it if they haven't seen the original. Because like when I watched the One Piece live action, I I am a proactive hater just because I like annoying the fan base. So it's like and I don't really care for pirates, and I'm not a big fan of Oda's art style. I have my reasons for like not watching the anime, but I'm sure it's fine. But watching the live action one, I'm like, well, I'm not going to revisit the anime. But so I'm sure like a lot of these plot points get expanded upon its literal 1,000+ episodes and whatnot. But watching the live action one, it still reads well to me. So I'm not sure how this would read to somebody that isn't familiar. I hope it is a gateway for people to go and watch the original, which
Yeah, to my
has
knowledge, that
vastly
the
superior
original,
dub
well,
acting.
fans of the anime were really into the live action one. So I'm like, okay,
yeah,
so that's at least they're
Yeah, which it helped that like its creator was involved in that, but the Yu Hakusho show was. I think what's unfortunate and what probably would have swayed it is if it was announced and produced after the reception of One Piece, but it was announced and produced around the same time as One Piece. So this show was already like probably wrapping production. Oh, right. It was
yeah.
probably in post by the
Right.
time the live action one came out, so it was too late. It was
Oh,
set
you're
in
saying
stone.
like
Whatever
this should have
whatever it was
been
going to be, it was
produced
going to be.
after the One Piece came out, so they had time to go back and like do some course correcting.
The, yes. Yeah, they should have waited to see the reception of One Piece, but they got announced not that far from one another, so that means they probably got produced not that far from one another. So when it was done, it was just done. So you can't unless you go and reshoot the whole show, but then you're just burning money. It probably wasn't worth the
Yeah.
investment because you only gave them 5 episodes anyway.
Hopefully, new fans like it, or maybe they'll suffer the same fate as Cowboy Bebop, which I still have yet to watch.
Woo! I think we started that and didn't get far. We got like what
Yeah, I don't
20
remember
minutes in. It's
finishing the
like,
pilot.
all right,
So yeah,
let's get something else on.
Damn.
I didn't either.
I mean,
I don't remember finishing the
from
pilot
what I
either.
saw, it didn't look too bad, but I guess to the fans of the
Oh
anime,
well.
that was not it. It looked fine.
Like
Yeah.
the
Like,
fights look good.
So,
Yeah. And the costumes look good, just like a Yu Yu Hakusho.
well,
The,
hopefully
the
whatever
fights
next
and the
thing
costumes were on
is
point. So
better.
you know.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So you want to tell me about your show that you've been watching recently?
Yeah, man. I've been here stuck in COVID, bro. I've been searching the PS4, searching the interwebs for things to watch. And on my TikTok scrolls, I keep coming across this show that has come across, that's been on everybody's list called Scavenger Reigns. And I'm like,
Right.
all right, you know, I got nothing else to do. Might as well check out this show. I literally know nothing about it. And yeah, I just finished it today, actually. And yeah, that show was great. That show is full of wonder and endless creativity, and the characters that we follow, you don't get a lot about them per se as far as like the entirety of their lives, but the way they move through this survival scenario and in the circumstances you watch them grow and survive through, you really endears you to these people over the course of these 12 episodes, and they're each half-hour episodes. And yeah, man, I think it's great. It's one of the best quick watches I've had in a minute. So it's like a nice like little 6-hour show. Each episode's a half hour. And
Okay.
yeah, I kind of described it to you a little bit as we were going through our TikTok exchanges, because
Right.
the boys be sending hella TikToks to one another.
It'd be like that.
It'd be like that. But I described it as like if Hayao Miyazaki had like an apprentice, like an American apprentice, and he told him to go do a show about people stranded on a foreign planet. He was like, "Bet, I got you." Yeah, that would be the show. That would be the show, because the way that there's certain things in here that reminded me of Spirited Away or The Boy and the Heron, and other in a good way.
You want to give a better example than that? No, I'm kidding.
But just the way that it's so inspiring in the way that there's this endless potential for human creativity to for the environment and the creatures they come across and the circumstances. And this show is a perfect example of cause and effect. Like we were talking about Boy and the Heron. We didn't go full into our opinion about it, but we talked about it off cam, and how that movie is just very much about like, and this happened, and then this happened. But no, everything that happens in the show has a reason for it happening, and they do it with effortless creativity for like the beautiful thing about it is like there's this abundance of organic material and organic nature in which the story plays out, and it's like it's beautiful, it's sad, it makes you angry, it gives you hope, it's just has all these elements in a show that keeps you hooked. And I have ADHD, motherfucker, and I've been locked in a room for damn near a week now. So for the fact that and I was talking to you before we started recording, I bounced between like 3 different shows, and then I finally landed on this show, and I would damn near binged it the entire way because that's how captivating it was for me.
I mean, that's good though. That's a win.
Yeah, no, it's a huge win.
This is what I want to see.
Exactly. And it's like this mix of like simplistic character designs with highly detailed and expansive, or I don't even know what's another word for it, but just incredible world building and world design. And yeah, it gives James Cameron a run for his money, man. The show is great.
Does it, or does it just beat him?
It just beats him straight up. Like,
let's be real, son. Be real,
it's like
son.
James Cameron, Hayao Miyazaki, and the creators of Lost had a baby and created this show.
Oh, damn, that's some high praise too. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I need to just settle down and watch it. But I'll probably give it a watch after. I mean, like we were talking about, after I watch May December, just because I've heard very good things. It seems like a very interesting premise. But no, that's some high praise right there. I'm excited to give it a watch, possibly under the use of some oral inhalants of sorts or something.
I can attest to that. Be a fine way to watch that show, to consume that piece of content.
But I don't know. Do you have any additional thoughts about Scavenger Range, or do you feel like it's something that has to be seen to be believed?
It has to be seen to be believed. Believe the hype, but also go in with an open mind as to not have it fully color your experiences. Because I don't think it's a perfect show, but because there's certain things that I wish I got a little bit more of. But to just say that this is something I watched and it's something that has been on my mind lately, this is definitely a show I recommend.
Okay. That's some fire shit. Yeah. Tight. All right. So, do we want to talk about Common Enemy number one?
Lord. Here we go.
Let's talk about Leave the World Behind. Oh, buddy. It was. How did you describe it? Because you said your mom watched it and had the same reaction as me, where I'm like, what? What the fuck was that ending? And you're like, there's no way this movie could be good for 95% and then fumble it at the end. Lo and behold, buddy, it did exactly that.
Sure enough. And I texted you too. It's
Sure
like, what
enough.
the fuck happened? How did you drop it so hard? You were doing so good.
It was the way where you're like, what? There's no way they can fumble this at the finish line. And they did exactly that in the most baffling way possible by answering nothing, essentially. Like, they answered some things and it's just like, the movie doesn't end, it just stops.
Exactly.
And like where it stops at, I'm like, I'm like, please God, don't tell me you're about to pull some cliche bullshit. And then it does, and I'm like, why? For what? First of all, I hated this fucking girl. Yo. I could not stand this raggedy ass entitled little girl. The whole shit talking about some. But I got to see how Friends ends. Oh my God.
She didn't. That aspect of things didn't bother me because I can understand that. You know, that's the one thing you cling to in a family that doesn't take you seriously or doesn't listen to. Something that did kind of weird.
Yes, I understand it, but the show that she picks is Duty. Duty.
A very
You know, it would have. You know what would have been.
People are gonna get on you about your hatred of Friends, but I know in Living Single is the better show in the original.
It's the original one. It's where they stole it from. The creators straight up said they stole it from Living Single, or from Living Single. They admitted it. But that aside, you know what I think would have made it work perfectly is if you picked a show that also has a bullshit ending that just stops.
The Sopranos?
Because then
The Sopranos?
No, because you know, actually that might not be a bad one, but you know the one I'm thinking of? Girlfriends.
Oh, but the 13-year-old girl watching Girlfriends is hilarious.
Because would that not be like a funny premise where the whole time she's like, you know, it's like, but mom, I gotta finish Girlfriends. You know, it's like, oh, honey, blah blah blah, Julia Roberts shenanigans, and then just gets to and then it cuts to black, and you hear that's it, and then credits.
That still would have made people.
Would that not have worked way better? Like, I would have been pissed, but at least it'd be like, oh, huh? Because like Friends has an ending, Girlfriends just stops, just like this fucking movie does.
When they bring Girlfriends back, that's a real question.
I need a Girlfriends Hulu or HBO Max original, even though they're killing everything on their platform for some reason. Watch out, DC. Yeah. So the plot of Leave the World Behind.
What I was gonna say was I didn't hate the little girl, but I thought that whenever they made her cuss, it just sounded weird to me. It sounded just like this feels like something that they wrote in the script.
Fuck. Like it's her first time saying it.
Exactly. It's like she cussing for the first time. Nobody gives a fuck about me in this family. You are 13. Who are you talking to like this?
It's like, first of all, who the fuck you think you talking to, little bitch? Like, no, I'm kidding. I'm sure that child is fun, but
I'm gonna his fucking girlfriends. Who wrote this, bro? Who wrote this script?
that would have been so much funnier if it's like, I'm trying to finish fucking Girlfriends. I need to know what happens to Joan. Is she gonna marry this man? Is she gonna get the house of her dreams? What happened to William? Like, that would have been way funnier.
That would have been great. That would have been really funny.
Because it's like, damn, this little white girl really fucks with, Jill Marie Jones.
Also, I don't know why, for so long in my head, the show Friends and Girlfriends never were like mentally synonymous with one another, even though you just add girl in front of the show and it's a completely different show.
And then it's a completely different show about 4 black women in California. You add one gendered signifier in front of it.
Suddenly, my girlfriend.
Suddenly, it's a show produced by Beast from the X-Men. Yes, he was an executive producer on that show. I'm not making a joke.
What?
Yes, you can look it up. You see his name at the end of every episode.
That's so odd. Speaking of producers, though,
yes.
The fact that the Obamas produced this movie is wild.
Okay, the amount of looking this movie up on TikTok was an absolute mistake, because the number of conspiracy theories that all popped up from it's like, they're trying to give you the message through the movie. You don't see everything that's going on out there right now. It's just like the movie. I'm just like, dog,
please.
If they were trying to destroy our nation from the inside, you think we would know about it? That was the whole point of the movie.
You think they would tell us?
You think they would tell us in a movie directed by some dude, produced by... You think the Obamas are going to tell us? No, they think the Obamas are that one dude in the movie who's like, oh, are you going to your secret island where the evil cabal lives? And he's like, best of luck to you. You think the Obamas are going to be giving us the hints and cheat codes? No, bitch. They're going to be in their high-tech Super Soaker 2077 bunker with exercise bikes and plants that can survive without direct sunlight and the DVD wall and shit. They're going to be in their bunker minding their black-ass business.
Sorry, fam.
You give a fuck about me?
They don't give a fuck.
I'll be out here in these streets talking to these weirdly stagnant deer that don't get scared by shit easily.
Right. The ones that just love to congregate and stare at women.
Yeah.
Stare at kids.
Just be staring at you and shit. Exactly. Yeah, so essentially, like, we got Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke as the parents in this family that goes on vacation up in, I think it's upstate New York, for summer vacation. And then, a oil tanker crashes on the beach. They go home. Later that night, Mahershala Ali and his daughter pop up, being like, oh, we can't get to our hotel. Can you please help us? And then shit gets weird from there, and technology starts failing, and planes start to crash, and questions get asked with no major answer. So the whole time, like, one of the big mysteries is like, oh, who's doing this attack? And we never get a clear answer on it. It's like, it could be the Koreans, it could be the Iraqis, it could be a cabal of everyone who doesn't like our raggedy united ass, because we made a lot of enemies along this time.
I think what Mahershala Ali said towards the end is like, it's likely what I feared, that people within the government are starting a coup, and they were setting up the first 2 stages for the third stage for the world to just destroy itself, or America to just destroy itself.
Yeah, which ironically we have a movie coming out soon called Civil War, which is about that. Which Texas and California teaming up, something happened,
right?
Because that would never happen. So it must be, one, this is clearly an alternate timeline, and 2, how bad was shit where Texas and California said we need to put aside our differences and unite against the rest of the country. We could take them. We're the 2 biggest ones.
The 2
that might have been what they said. That might be what they said. It's like, look, we're the two biggest states. If we unite, we could take out the rest, probably.
If guns and avocado toast combine their powers, we can take over the rest of the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, you have guns and boba tea.
You have
Yoga
guns
mats.
and dogs and strollers.
Yeah, you have all of the ranches and the master gentrifiers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeehaw and
oh
4
yeah,
p.m. hot yoga spas.
yeah, yeehaw and hot yoga spas, exactly. But yeah, we'll leave the world behind. I don't know. I was expecting more clarity, and I was left more anxious, but not in a way that I think was particularly interesting. Just to it was like 2 hours of buildup, which is because it has some like really dope moment. Like the opening credits are really cool. I thought it has a strong ass opening, and then there are like character beats that I think are really interesting, like Mahershala Ali trying to bond with Julia Roberts' very racist coded ass, where it's just like the whole time I'm
He
like,
never said anything racist, but it all felt very
yeah,
racist.
it's like every time it's like, well, I don't know if we should really trust strangers in our home. And Ethan Hawke's like, what the fuck is up with you? Where did this hostility come from?
They could be housekeepers or maids.
Yeah, it's like, why was that your first guess that they were the help? Maybe they stole the key from the. It's like, oh yeah, GH. We spoke on the phone. We never had a chance to meet face to face. And it's like, I don't believe him. It's like, there's a black man not making enough money to own a house this big.
Oh, racist ass. I was just like, they never said anything specifically racist.
Right.
But I feel it. I feel a tingle in the back of my neck. Something's not right.
Yeah, something's niggling in my nabblers. I don't like it. But watching her and him dance to Too Close by Night.
Ridiculous.
This shit set my soul on fire. She was on 14 different beats and it wasn't the 4/4 time. God bless Julie Roberts.
I know
she was on 7 different rhythms and none of them were the right one. Just the.
Yep.
I'm like, you better get it, Julia Roberts.
Right. Meanwhile, Mahershala Ali over there, smooth as fuck.
Right. All he was doing was like a 2-step, very smooth.
Exactly.
And then like,
but he was killing.
They had he ate with, and they had the laugh into the hold where it's like, we're both married. This is crazy. I'm like, what the fuck is going? So are y'all gonna fuck? And Ethan Hawke's gonna fuck the daughter? Like, is this where we're going? Because that's a wild place to take the story.
Right. Also, I want to say, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. When daughter was in the bed with Mahershala Ali, she was giving the rundown of how the family was weird. Did you get any hints prior to their conversation where they were smoking that Ethan Hawke wanted to fuck her? Because I don't think I did.
Not prior to them smoking, no. It wasn't until they were outside on that porch where it was like, yeah, you look like the kind of guy that would, has that charm to him but sleeps with his students. He's like, well, I'll take that as a compliment. I'm like, is what I think happening right here?
Right.
And then
I
like,
know they're not about to fuck up there while they fucking in the house. I know.
Yeah, and then like Mahershala and Julia Roberts are like having their little wind downs. Like, come on, let me show you something. Take you to my record collection, and we're gonna start dancing and getting real close. I'm like, what are we building up to here? What
are we doing here?
What's going on here? What are we setting up? This is the weirdest infidelity I've ever seen.
If Ethan Hawke didn't own up to leaving that girl behind, I bet she would have fucked him.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No, I'm saying yeah. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, but he's just like,
because like he was high. They were bonding over. They were sharing.
She probably thought she was chill.
Yeah, because I was expecting that like he's leaning back and she like starts to climb over on top of the beach, the little pool chair, whatever. And it's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? No, stop! I'm married.
What you mean he tried to fuck you? You started it. You initiated
Yeah.
this whole interaction.
Julia Roberts, no. I tried to stop her. I was just so high.
They were over there hugging. She gave him a sad boner. He's like,
but fucking Julia Roberts and Mahershala is like, this is crazy. We shouldn't do this. I don't even know if my wife's alive. And it's like, yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. And then did nothing with that plot point ever again. Never got revisited.
He got sad because he loves his wife.
Yeah.
His boner went away because he got sad. He got drunk.
Because he remembered his wife and she might be deceased. Or in a river or something.
Yeah, or something. She definitely wasn't on that beach because he would have searched or whatnot.
He would have seen her.
Like,
and that was a cool sequence too, like with the plane coming down and everything.
That was a great sequence. Oh my god!
It was like that's the sequence with the boat. Like when they first noticed the boat coming that way, he's like, oh wow, an oil tanker. That's pretty cool. I'm like, if you bitches don't move, you can clearly see this shit still coming your way. Dad, I think it's getting. Hey guys, you're gonna want to take a look at this. And they're just like, what do you start grabbing the shit way too late? I'm like, yeah, nigga.
This shit's already on the shore. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Right, like, come on, bro, get it the fuck together. Or how long it took them to
couldn't be us.
Or when fucking the Teslas were flying down the road. Again, I did like that scene, but it's like y'all moved way too slow. Like, get back in the car. What? Get back in the fucking car. I'm like, or don't do, like my first thing was like, why did you stay on the road if you know them shits are flying directly this way?
Exactly.
Drive off the road.
Or like park until they all come over. Like,
yeah, like it wasn't like it was like a crazy sloped hill. It sloped slightly, but not enough where like you couldn't get back on it. I'm like, just get off the road, because one of the cars clipped their edge. I'm like, yeah, get off the road, bitch.
Also, that scene,
flip around.
Once the cars started coming, that scene was way too short for an event like that to be happening. I feel like maybe like 5 cars, and then it was over, and they're back at the house. I'm like, but how'd you get out of that though? Because if they just keep coming like that, how long can you bob and weave like that? Because I know I've never been in that situation. I know damn well you ain't been in that situation.
Yeah, and like even the lack of details we got about Mahershala's character and his daughter, because it looked like they were in cahoots on some shit. First. And I thought he was like lying about who he was, but it seems like he's
in the beginning, right? Like when the first time we get them by themselves,
because he's like, "Oh, my employer," and he was talking about like not really recognizing the keys.
Exactly. It's like, well, you need to find out more before my employer. I'm like, okay, so he's not who he says he is.
Yeah, it's like, so does he work for the actual guy, or
right? But then it's the whole thing where we're like, oh no, I just came here to get some money from my employer. I'm like, okay, but I guess that kind of tracks, but no, y'all was like really on it with the misleads there, because I was like, okay, so you're saying that homegirl's right, because that's what they're alluding to. I'm like, oh, she's not racist. She has strong intuition. Like, oh no, she's just racist. Okay,
no, she's just racist. And then she fell in the arms of that beautiful chocolate man and said, "Well, this pussy ain't racist."
Well, you're one of the good ones, so.
Yeah. What a beautiful chocolate man, Mahershala Ali. He even turns the racist around. It's like, well, maybe this time. Yeah, got to be sure. Got to check.
I will say, I think overall, I was more positive on the movie, which is weird. I feel like normally I'm the more critical one.
Yeah.
But I feel like this movie, I like the experience of it, from the opening shot to zoom into Julian Roberts' face. I'm like, oh, this is like an indie movie type shot, or like some old type filmmaking. We haven't seen this, especially with an actress like her, because I'm more mainstream actors when I think, because it was giving like A24 type vibes. So to be,
I like the cinematography in this movie a lot. Actually, it's really well shot.
Cinematography, the acting, and the music, all incredible in this movie.
I love it. Yeah, I agree.
I thought the dialogue for the most part was really good. Like her whole conversation with the daughter about like people. Also, the daughter's dialogue was great too. I feel like I know this chick. I feel like this chick definitely lives out here in Cali. Like she's like
Mahershala's daughter.
Mahershala's daughter. So she's very Gen.
Yeah. No, I like her.
Yeah, I liked her. I like how she
was
doesn't
cool.
take no shit the whole time. And
that was Have you seen the newest season of Black Mirror?
yes, but I haven't finished it yet. But she was in Jonas
She was.
right?
Did you see? She was the girl from Loch Ness.
Oh yes.
The documentary one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was her.
And where she, spoiler alert, where she died, right? Because then
yeah. In the dumbest fucking way.
Stupidest fucking way.
Still pissed about that.
So dumb. But yeah, I didn't realize that was her. But yeah, she's a great actress, cute, very talented, and everyone was really good in it. But just that ending was
the acting
dumb.
Mm-hmm.
The ending was really dumb because one, there's questions that
it was way too.
And there's no questions that it doesn't answer. Like, what the fuck was in the shed? What was happening in there?
Who was in the
shed? Who was in the shed?
What was the whole I mean, there was a reason to the sequence with Kevin Bacon. You know what? No, that scene is overall pretty good because that just represents the state of mind of like people. So I'm actually okay with that. But then just like how it goes to, she just went to the neighbor's house and like they predicted they had the safe house, eating all up their fucking food.
So where the fuck are they? If they have this bunker, where are they? Why are they not in?
They might have said that they were out of town or something, but yeah, where are they? Were they? Did they find the daughter? What's up with the? Is she just gonna live there now? Right,
but apparently, because when the movie ended, I was like, okay, there has to be a sequel, right? Because we got to find out one, if they do they reconnect? What are they going to do from here? Like, the assumption is they're going to find the girl, go to the house, and that's where they're going to spend the rest of their days or whatnot. But we don't know that. We don't know who's in the shed. We don't know the relationship between, how the relationship is going to evolve or devolve between Kevin Bacon's character. What's going to happen there? Because this motherfucker had teeth falling out of his mouth, and he gave him pills. He gave him like pain meds. I'm like,
he gave him pain meds, which I guess can work to an extent, but and that's when it clicked for me when they mentioned the radiation of the bombs going off. I'm like, that's what it is. That's why I see the falling out. So that one did actually connect, and I thought that was interesting. But yeah, like pay $1,000 for pain meds. Fuck, bro.
Right. Also, the fact that he known Homeboy for like clearly a long time before the events went down.
They were familiar
for like 2 seconds to be like, all right, I won't shoot you.
Like, brother, you know me.
Exactly. But you're still a upright citizen. I'm like, okay. All right, buddy.
Yeah. It's like, all right, guy. You switching it up on me. Yeah, I don't know. And I even thought like the cause behind it would be a little. I mean, when I first saw the poster and saw like this deer, I thought it was gonna be like a disease or like nature was like getting revenge on man, and that would have been an interesting one where it's like, oh, it's shutting down the communications and it's fucking things up.
I feel like Civil War was like the least interesting option they could have picked. Like, aliens.
Yeah, where it's just like it was what they said it probably was, something political.
Yeah,
and self-destructive, which I'm like, I mean, yeah, you can go that, but it's like it down to the scene with the eclipse. It's like, oh, is it aliens? That'd be cool. Nope.
Just fucking
because it's not even the safest answer. It's like predictable to the point of being unpredictable, and it also conversely makes it lame. Like it's so very much. It's like, oh yeah, it's just it seems like it's just a political issue. I mean, we don't get a clear answer, so it's like it could, in theory, be anything, but the implication is just like it's just political BS, and they're trying to knock out the United States. Which, while I like the way that it's executed, the people that are conspiracy theorizing that that's what would happen in the real world, I'm like doubtful. Don't get me wrong, the United States security as far as like government and information has been hacked before, both domestically and internationally. So it's not that that's impossible, but the shit that we're not supposed to know about, we don't see.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. There have been plenty of instances of government like documents being like hacked and leaked and shit like that, or taken as ransom. It's definitely happened. But the shit that you're not supposed to see, we haven't seen. Remember, they gave us all the bullshit from Area 51 for like the last 40 years. You know, unidentified aircrafts and all that. They gave that. No one hacked that. No one, was able to get around. Nobody in like Korea or China or Japan or Iraq or Russia was able to get those. They got some other shit. They got the Trump shit, but
Those
like
volunteers told us.
they didn't get fucking Area 51. Yeah, so it's like if you ain't supposed to see the shit,
Right.
you ain't gonna fucking
You gonna
see
hear
it, bro. So there's plenty of. You know how many coups we've started in other countries that we don't know about just because we're Americans? How many nations we've destabilized? you know, oops, oops, all international
That's
incidents.
No, it is. But yeah, there's a lot of shit we don't
Like-
know. That's America.
Yeah, like I mean, shit. People don't know about the move bombing. You know, the time where the FBI bombed its own citizens and killed like 5 people, including some kids, just because they deemed them a terrorist organization. We just be doing shit like that, bro. Like we be the villains.
Heroes of our own stories, villains of another.
Exactly. That's a bar. That's a bar for real. But that's also just historically accurate. But yeah, other than that, like production's really strong. Acting is fucking top tier. Editing is good. Super well shot. It's just like where it ends is kind of whack. It's a shame because it's like 95% great movie.
95% great movie with great acting, but they just don't know how to end it. It's weird because I know that I heard that it's a dude.
Yeah, we saw that TikTok about the book.
Yeah, the book apparently is not great either, which is they found a way to make the movie more exciting. It's just a shame, and I know it's the guy who did Mr. Robot. Like,
yeah, which that might explain the production value on it.
And apparently,
so
he said this is in the same universe as Mr. Robot. So I'm like, okay, fascinating.
Sure, why not?
I've never seen that. Yeah, I've never seen that show, but okay.
I haven't either.
Sure. I don't know. Maybe it'll get me to watch it. I don't know. I know it's a popular show with Rami Malek in it. That's all I know.
Yeah, so do I.
But yeah, it's a shame because it could have been one of the best movies of the year. Could have been top 10.
It could have been. It was doing its thing until it stopped doing that.
The twist didn't twist hard enough.
It did not. I'm looking at like some of the response and everything for it. Yeah, so it's been doing well. I don't know. I'm curious to see what other people kind of think about it, but yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at like the plot synopsis for the book.
Oh, you're good. I mean, it was. It's crazy that they were able to get a cast at this staff.
Yeah. So it seems like it follows pretty much the plot of the book. So that means it's not a great book, in my opinion.
Yeah, you sent me a.
Maybe it's a better read, but
it's a shame too. What's the ratings? 6.5. Damn. Drama, mystery, thriller. I think it does very good as a drama.
Yeah.
I did not love that man, bro. Ethan Hawke was so oblivious during the whole movie. He was just kind of there.
I thought he was like engaging, but yeah, he could have done more. I mean, he seemed, if anything, like he was kind of the foil for Julia Roberts' character. Like he had to be there to basically settle her down. I wish they would have added subtitles to the Spanish woman, because I think that would have upped kind of like that sense of dread.
Yeah, dude, she was like staring at him, like speaking in Spanish really fast. She wasn't blinking. Here's the thing. Here's what fucked me up, right? So I saw like a flash of a thumbnail prior to going into this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how like in those Easter egg thumbnails, it'll be like someone's face and it's like an arrow pointing to like another picture, like alluding
Right.
these two things are connected. So I
Right.
still haven't watched that video, but what I saw was Ethan Hawke like staring at something, looking scared, and it was a picture pointing to the final shot of the little girl watching the TV. But I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
those two things were connected. I didn't even realize it was her. But Ethan Hawke's eyes looked really blue. So I'm like, okay, does he get like possessed by an alien or something?
Right.
So when he comes back to the house and it shows that shot of him just like from the top down, and he's like drinking water and he's like, I don't even know what happened. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker got possessed. Something got him. That's what I was thinking.
He got. They done got him.
Because the last shot they showed, because they cut away from him for a long time, the last shot they showed was the drone coming down with all the pamphlets and him trying to drive away as fast as possible. And then next time you see him is after the noise happens, but we don't get his perspective on those events. So it makes the audience think that, okay, something happened that we're not seeing to Ethan Hawke in between now and the last time we saw him. But they never really play off on that. He truly just got lost and didn't know where the fuck he was going. So the mystery aspects or like the ways it makes your mind race aren't paid off. Like for example, like the thing we talked about with the shed. Some things are just mystery for the sake of mystery. And
I think the mysteries work, but the fact that the mysteries don't really have payoff, I think, is disappointing.
It is
because
it was such a fun movie, entertaining movie for the most part.
Like something like Doctor Who, I think you have particular mysteries without payoff and still like have that tension because it's like, oh, the Doctor's name or where the Doctor's born, blah blah blah, and that's more like character oriented. When it comes to something like a narrative, you kind of start to it ends up being a case about like the journey of the narrative and not the destination of it. But I think it can be hard to qualify a rewatch and exploration into things that are deeper when it's like there's no real thing to latch on to other than theory for the narrative.
Exactly. And granted, the drama is good, but the thing is, the drama is built around that mystery of what's going on because all the characters we're following are in the dark. Build up, and the movies sets these expectations up for you to have these feelings of like mystery, what's going on, mistrust. And it's interesting because I feel like, 100%. I feel like there are people watching it because Netflix is like a global thing, right? But other people watching it in America, specifically like women like Julia Roberts, you're probably suspicious of Mahershala Ali too. Like, I don't trust them. I don't trust what's in their house, and it kind of, so thematically it does play off of those things. Like, okay, from a character drama perspective, right? I like it that it's the story about these two families that don't know each other but decide to put those things aside for the sake of finding care. Like literally the two women that were odds the whole movie band together to go find their daughter, then who didn't even want them each other there in the first place, and the husband go with one another to go help the son. Even though I don't feel like either of them really had arcs personally, I feel like the fact that the two women in the thing were able to like
Julia and the
reconciliation, because for Julia to both go from being like racist and mistrustful to then dancing with Mahershala Ali and then going back to save the daughter, the girl who's given her the most shit in the course of the entire story, I thought that was very telling on her end of things. I think the only ones that really had arcs were the daughter and the mother of Julianne Moore and Julianne. Am I saying her name right? Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts. My bad. Have I been saying Julianne Moore this whole time?
Oh, you're thinking of May December.
Yeah, Julia Roberts.
Yeah,
but I think that theme of it being a civil war and the fact that these two families are able to find common ground and safe haven with one another is a testament to that, or that's something you can take away from it. Because none of the lessons are like concrete within the story.
Yeah, like unity will pull us through any adversity or some boring shit like that.
But like
Some
I'm
corny
trying
shit.
here. That's the only thing I can think of that like that's a
I'm
positive
not
take.
disagreeing with you.
It's like
It's just
like
corny.
it could have been used to greater effect if they are to go that route. Really put it to the test. I feel like the deer thing is the test, but like, I guess Mahershala Ali kind of sort of had an arc because he was like this guy who's like good, agreeable, like is trying to keep everything easy, but when push comes to shove, like he's gonna be about business. He's gonna do what he needs to do for what he cares about. So yeah,
Yeah.
those things
I don't
are like
know.
some positives takeaways, but yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah,
going.
it's strong until the end, I would say, where there's not any like explicit payoff for enough, I think, plot elements. It's not to say that there's none, but it's just not enough, I think, for me to feel satisfied coming out of it beyond just like, what? Bitch! Like,
No, exactly. I agree, 100%.
okay. Yeah, we're tired as fuck. Aaron, do you have anything you want to plug for I cut the shit off?
I'm tired. Speaking of being tired, I just had a video drop we just covered Rampage,
Woo.
the Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie on the Real Rejects channel. Go check that out. My TikTok is Aaron Alexander 64, and it's the real Aaron Alexander. It's spelled REEL at TikTok, and then the real spelled the normal way, Aaron Alexander on Instagram.
Okay. I will have to change the plugs. If you would like to find me, you can find me on Instagram at Will the Greatest. You can also find me on TikTok at Will.the_greatest. And you can find me on YouTube also at Will the Greatest. And yeah, don't forget to like the show, share the show, rate it 5 stars, tell your friends. Don't forget to hashtag AskAce. We will see you all whenever. Maybe next week. Who knows? Peace.
Peace.